you know, you got an idea how life's going to work out. But then sometimes, because of free will, you don't always, and other people involved in your life, it doesn't always work out the way you scripted it. But what's really beautiful, and I feel like this is a prophetic word for a few people in here, and maybe people who are watching our Bethel family on TV, God, if we just stay in there long enough, God always works it out for good. Now, you may think, well, it would have been better if it went that way. Yes, but that wasn't the choice you had. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? It's like, wouldn't this been a beautiful story? Yes, but that's not the story we got to be a part of. We got to be a part of this story. So how do I do the best I can with the circumstances I've been given? And I think I still feel the Lord on this, so I'm just going to stay with it for a minute. But I feel like social media and media in general often criticize people for the decisions they make without understanding what was handed to them. We all know how it would be best. Like, this is the story we all want. That's not the story we got to write. We didn't get to write that book. We got to write this book. So I just want to say, I feel like there's some people in here. Oh, this is an obvious. Just there's people in here. But I'm notorious for not finishing a sentence and then correcting myself. And people say all the time, like, you don't finish sentences. I'm like, I know what I'm about to say is very obvious. Like, there are people in here that you're in the middle of a story that doesn't seem redemptive. I know that. Like, everyone could stand up for something in here. But I mean that there's some specific people in here that the Lord's actually interrupting this service to bring you this very important message. That you're in the middle of the book, but you think that you're at the last chapter. Like, you have been thinking, visualizing that this is the last chapter. And first of all, I want to tell you that by the word of the Lord, that this is not your last chapter. You're in the middle of your book, and this part of the story, this is your testimony. Like, this is what will make the book, and the book is a metaphor, this is what will make the book of your life beautiful. This is the story you'll tell. And everybody wants to, have a life that has no problems. And some of you who don't know this group of people think, oh, those people, they're so privileged. Like, everything goes well for them. And first of all, I don't want to say, like, feel sorry for us, because that's not the point of the message. The point is that no matter who you are, life has its twists and turns. And the difference isn't what's handed to you. The difference is what you do with what's handed to you. So if you're in that situation I described, and the Holy Spirit is talking to you, like, because I know everyone could stand in the room, and I'm really not looking for a large audience. I'm looking for about 10 people that I feel like the Holy Spirit's really talking to. And I'd like you to stand right now. And if you're watching us by Bethel TV, just by faith, just stand up and just be a part of this. I love when our wider family writes to us and says, I was standing with you, and I love that. Good. Yeah. When my son went through the darkest time of his life, I said to him many times, you will love again, you will live again. And he would repeat to me, this is our open testimony. I'm not giving you a private Vallotton moment that he hasn't shared publicly. He would repeat to me, that doesn't feel true, but I trust you. So I want to say, first of all, some of you are standing for relational things, maybe because I talked about a relational story. And I want to say to you, first of all, you'll love again, and you'll live again. And secondly, I want to say to all of you that are standing, your life is going to be a beautiful book. and the Lord is the one writing it. Do you know he's the author and perfecter? Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. He's the author and the perfecter of your faith. In other words, he is the one ultimately writing your story. There are characters in your story who are not like submitted to the Lord's authorship, but how many know that he is ultimately the author and the perfecter of your faith? And so, would you just extend your hands to them right here? I saw this huge, just now, like 1 second ago, I had this picture, this vision of the size of this room, the word hope with letters that filled the entire room. Like hope.